Robert. You've been working on the master studies? We could take a little break from it, do something else tonight. Work out of the workbook. Shuffle patterns, halftime shuffle. Drum set application for master studies. Whatever you want. You're early. I'm early. So, Stacy, hello, how are you? Yes, that sounds good. All right. Drum set application for master studies. Is that what you want to work on? I mean, you know, I forgot. There's such a delay. I'm saying hello and I'm doing something else. So when you do it, respond to a question that I have asked. I lost, 10 seconds. I forgot what I asked. Okay. Your choice, Robert and Stacy. What would you like to work on? I'm just a little tired. It's hot, exhausted. Yes, okay. We're going to work on yes. Okay, that was number one in master studies. What I do with these, and I do them slow. First, I get them down on one surface, like we've been doing all week, nice and slow. Look like a machine. Then I take it, and I do it real slow, no metronome yet. And I do that first line, and I say all right-hand accents over here, all left-hand accents over here, and all the rest is on a snare. So now if I do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and nice and slow. A little faster. You get it? You have fun with it. But you have to do it slow. And I'll hang out for each one. Hey, Paul. All right. I'll hang out with each one. I don't know. I'm not going to do it now for 5 minutes, but at a variety of tempo. I get the feel. Okay? Paul and Stacy were on Master Studies, the first one. Number one. We did it on one surface, right? And I'll sit there and I'll sort of like, I don't know, orchestrate it, I guess. So on and so forth. That's number one. All right-hand accents here, all left-hand accents here. So you have 1 and 2 and. understand that one? Okay, so now, hey Hoist, how you doing? We took number 1 from Master Studies, and we did a drum set application kind of, right? I could do it a couple different ways, but this is the most practical. I take the right hand accents and put them on the floor tom-tom, left hand accents on the small tom-tom. So I just relax. I don't use no metronome. I might be at a tempo a little bit, but I'm getting the feel and the motion. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So when you feel good with it, find yourself a tempo. Now we go to line 2. You're going to have 1 and, you're going to have 1, come on 2. Wait a minute. Here we go. Get in there. You're going to have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You got 1 and 2 and. Line 3. Yeah, hold on. Get my sticks together. So do the first 5 like that. I don't want to spend all night on it, but you get the. I quit. All right. You know, you have the first two pages. On one surface, you have 1. I think that's through 15 or 16. And now do the first page. Okay, all right hand accents on the floor tom-tom, all left hand accents on the small tom-tom, all other notes on the snare. Did you see that, Jimmy? You got that? Well, you could swing it. I don't think I've ever played a swung, but let me try it. Let me feel the first line. I think that's it. You ever get the feeling your job is so demanding? You can do them swung. It's up to you. Good idea, Paul. I just rather get him here. Okay? So do them swung too. Does everybody understand that swung? Straight up and down, one surface. Then you move it around the drum set, all right hand accents on Mr. Floor, all left hand accents on Mrs. Tom, or Miss Tom. And all remainder of the notes are on the snare drum. Right hand accents, left hand accents, all remainder on the snare drum. Okay, so you could do it 3 ways. Paul just gave you another way to do it. Swung. It's hard enough to do it straight up and down. Whatever you guys want to do. But that's just another one. You like that, Robert? How about you, Stacy, Hoist? You like that? Jimmy, Stacy, Hoist? We all like that? All right, that's enough with the Morello book for this week. I mean, I'm all Morello'd out, man. You You know, to write all those things out is very difficult, but to write them out twice is extremely difficult and very exhausting. But you got them. Thank you, Matt. You're welcome, guys. Okay, so now, let's leave this optional. Let's leave the rest of the lesson optional. That's enough for the stick control, for the Binga for master studies, okay? And we're going to put master studies, we're going to close it and put it on the ground or on a shelf or wherever you keep your books, okay? So now, remember the workbook, the walkbook, W-O-O-K? Sorry about that. I still haven't gotten it fixed. But what they are the ostinato patterns from Gary Shafee book, written out. So just to give you, let's open to the beginning of it. Ostinato number uno. 3 voices, hi-hat, snare, bass drum. This is a very simple pattern. It's referred to as the money beat. I'm hitting 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, down, up. We all know how to play this, but let's review it. Now, when you're learning this, I highly recommend you count 16th notes. You're going to count the 16th notes. Then once you count, you're feeling good with the 16th notes, we're going to stop at the 16th notes and count it in 8th notes, then quarter notes, then hum the bass as if it were the bass player, okay? So this is, not a review, but a different approach. So let's take the first one, number 1, cymbal ostinato, number 1, bass drums on 1 and 3. This is important, that right hand. So what I'm counting is 1E and the 2E and the 3E. Now the hi-hat, if I'm playing a bass drum, 1, 2, 3E and the 4, and 1E and the 2, 3, 4, 1E and the 2. Simple. All right, that's the first guy. Then he permutates that bass drum from the 1 to the E. 1, and this is why you're counting 16ths right now. 1 E and. Ah. 3E and the 4E and the 1E and the 2. Then we're going to go move the bass drum to the end. And 4 and 1E and the 2. There you go. 3E and the 4 and 1E and the 2. But look at that right hand. 3E and the 4. Yeah. 1E and the 2. 3E and that to the da. 1E and a 2. 3, 4. And that looks very mechanical, very stiff. But I'm putting it in place. So I'm counting it now in 16th notes so I have equalized or equal distance or the feel between 1, 2, 3, and 4 equalized. You understand that, guys? Now, I also do this left-handed. You like it, Stacy? You like it, Hoist? What's so cool, Jimmy? You got the air conditioner on. Now, for those who ever had, I don't know, how many guys in here have played 6 nights a week, get a gig 6 nights a week for a while? Or 3 nights a week for 3 or 4 months? How many guys got that in here? You understand? Okay. But you got to count it now in 16s. How many guys have had a gig 6 nights a week or 3 nights a week for a period of time? Like this week, the next week, the week after, and the week after that, so on and so forth. How many guys here have that? Playing 5, 6, you never played a gig? Well, what are you waiting for, Stacy? What you got to do, Stacy, I think that you're a very knowledgeable young lady, and you know, music has no, should have none, rather, being sexist, being a girl or a guy or whatever. You're a musician. What you need to do is get your sticks, put them in the stick bag, and head off to a jam session and sit in at least one song. They'll let you sit in. Maybe you don't know the tune. So you get up on a stage, you go, oh shit, now what? You work yourself through it. You do the best that you can. Don't worry, they'll take you, oh sorry, thank you, next. Now, you go home and you work on that tune over and over and over and over again. Then the next week, you go back and you request that tune. They'll play it for you because they know that's the process. And before you know, you do that for about 6 months, you have a lot of tunes. A lot of tunes under your belt. Well, when you played 3 gigs in the same week, Paul, after you finished the 3rd gig, how did your hands feel? They felt loose, they felt good. You start hearing things, you felt good about maneuvering around the drum set. Imagine doing that 6 nights a week, 7 nights a week for about 3 years. Okay? Man, your hands are flying. What's the name? That Todd Suckerman, is it? Good drummer, man. But, you know, you play a gig with his band one night, and you're beating the shit out of the drums. You're playing them. You're really doing a good job. But, man, you're going to have some chops after the gig because your hands are there. Now, the advice that I'm giving you, Stacy, is I went through that. And I still go through it. It sure felt good. Now, Paul, you go to a jam session, you have a band. Robert, do you go to a jam session? Adam, hello. Hoist, do you go to a jam session? We're not going to be working on this, the Morello book tonight. I'm all Morello'd out. We're going to do some basic rock patterns from the Shafee book. This is the workbook that I give everybody who becomes a member. Okay? That's this book. If you become a member of the site, you get a book like this. I believe, how many pages? Oh, I don't know, 180? 180 pages, and this is the stuff we work with. Hello, Adam, we said hello. How are you? Okay. Now let me tell you some stories about my being humble. Where was that? Hold on. You know, even to this day, you know, there's 1,000 tunes out there. But being a player for a long period of time, you're not really faking your way through something if you don't know the tune. You know, usually the leader, you know, say, I don't know the tune. He goes, is it 4, A. That's all you need to know. 1, 2, 3, 4, you're off to see the wizard. 8, 8, 8, and 8, ba-doom. Twice, and then improv, and then back. And then if you're a seasoned player, as the tune went by, as it goes over and over again, you'll pick it up. That's not a problem. Well, there's some tunes that really get me crazy, and it still gets me crazy to this day. And I was determined to really get it down. John Coltrane tune, okay? A Moment's Notice. It's a 36-bar tune. Ding-a-da-banga. I never knew that until somebody told me, and I'm trying to figure it out for years. But it's 36 measures. That's unorthodox. It's not standard, but it works, and it sounds good. Now, if you ever get a chance to go on YouTube, put on A Moment's Notice by John Coltrane. Da 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 ba do boo dee da 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 ba ba Boo-doo-ba-bee-da, ba-da-doom, ba, boo-doo-dee-da, ba. You'll see. Try it. Well, yeah, it's better to know the tune. You see, if I don't know a tune and I get up on stage and he just said it's 4/4 A, I don't have to know the tune. I'm going to keep that structure. So within the structure, I'm learning the tune as it's passing. That's when I become a timekeeper. Ba, 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 2, 3, 4, 1, 6, 7, 8. First, second 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4, 4. 5, 2, 3, 4, 6. 7, 8. Bridge. So I'm sitting sideways. 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 8, 2. Back to the A section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2. Back to the 1. Simple. I just did 32 measures. I broke them up in increments of 8. Well, that's what you're supposed to be doing. You should be doing that. See, Mike Clark and I, we had a long discussion. And, I have some really, believe it or not, as much as I'm not that articulate, I talk to some really good musicians. Now, you talk to Mike Clark, Alan Herman, what's his name? All those guys, whatever. Lenny White, we talk. And we talk about structures of tunes. And we say, what's out there today? Now, you look in all these groups, the art of drumming groups, everybody's trying to be somebody else. That's not art. They want to be Buddy Rich. Forget about it. Joe Morello, Max Roach, Elvin Jones, Louis Belson, Ed Shaughnessy, Art Blakely, Tony Williams. They all want to be that. And they make a video and they're trying to prove something, how great they are. I don't give a shit. And neither should anybody else. You should enjoy it. Fine, that's a product of someone's hard work. But with an attitude like that, starting to play something, trying to be fast as they could, making no musical sense whatsoever, is really a turn-off. It's not art. Playing music, especially the drums, it's a long process, man. It's a very physical instrument. It's very demanding mentally. You only coordinate 4 or 5 things at one time. A piano player, forget about it. 8, 10 fingers he's coordinating, plus the pedals. God bless him. But that's how you learn. You go to a jam session, you get humbled. It's not a very good feeling. What is that? All right, well, the bass is fine. See, that's why we're doing 16th notes. Here, let me just do something very simple. If I'm playing a bass line, let's say I'm playing 1 and 3. I'm going to change this. I'm going to go 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4. Now the bass drum. 1 E and the 3 E. And I'm counting 16ths. 1 E and the 2. I'm going to count 8th notes. 3 E, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Bass line. 4. You get the idea. A book that is designed especially for that, and nobody really gets into it, is a new breed. People, they just go to a jam session. It's best to always play with players better than you, Paul. There's no grading system. You're going to a jam session, number one, to learn. Number 2, to have fun. Number 3, without a doubt, you're going to get humbled. And 4, you're going to go home and practice your ass off. Until next time. Now, like I was saying, The New Breed. Everybody familiar with that book? I do too much bullshit. I guess not, huh? The New Breed by, what's his name? Gary Chester. John Berger is the one who studied with him. And remember Carl Latham? He studied with him as well. All right, let's get back to the ostinatos. We did number 1, 2, and 3, 4. All right, let's do number 4. 1 E and 3. 1 E and 2, 3, 4. 1 E and 2, 3, 4. Then we'll do 5. Ah. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. And you guys should be able to play that with no problem, both right-handed and left-handed. You should be able to play 1 through 21. You have the book. What do we have here, dear? Who's this? Paul. Yeah, The New Breed by Gary Chester. Yeah, Paul. Unfortunately, there are assholes. On Facebook, there's a million of them. You know, the best thing to do is just ignore that. The person who's a true musician and a good human being is going to try to help you. He's not going to come on, and he's not going to be condescending. An asshole is going to say, hey, you suck, get the hell out of here. Go play, go take another instrument. You stay away from people like that. You know, me, I got a different attitude. Somebody tells that to me right now, I say, oh, thank you. But 10, 15 years ago, somebody would say that to me, I'd drop them. Immediately, no problem. Yeah, it is possible, but it's a difficult book. To me, this stuff that you're learning right now from the Gary Chaffee book, and plus I have another book called Funky Primer, and Mike Clark's funky book. Then we'll get into The New Breed. You know, I'm all over the place with these lessons, and I'm trying to establish or organizing something where we're going forward, all of us at one time. You know, like Robert, what you did yesterday, that's not a problem. You were trying to do the halftime shuffle. Excuse me, you were having a good time with it. And you were learning something new. You were going not out of your comfort zone, but you were experimenting, and that's how you learn. But when we're working on master studies, we stay on master studies. We're working on developing some rock patterns, we work on it. Yes, I go off, I'm the culprit here, and I talk because the questions are coming at me, and I'm trying to answer them. And by me answering the questions, it opens up to a lot of other things. Yeah, I have Mike's book too. I asked Mike where you could purchase the book, okay, and he said to me on, I think it's Hudson Music or Hal Leonard, I'm not sure, I'll find out for those who don't have it. It's a good book. And his second book, the Swing book, is a great book. But he's not really saying, and actually you guys can play that. But it's good to have in your library. Sometimes when I sit in the studio I get bored with Facebook and writing music, I'll open up a textbook. Like I'm trying to get through this George Lawrence Stone memoirs. All right, it's a good, interesting book. I mean, some of the things he's done in his life, some of the articles he wrote, some of the knowledge he put out there. It's really a good book. Yeah, it's more fun to mix it up, but you know, there's only like so much time. I would really like everybody to work on master studies 1 through 15 or 16, whatever it is, the first 2 pages. The first page, 1 through 5, play all right-hand accents on the floor tom-tom, all left-hand accents on the small tom-tom, bass drum 1, 2, 3, 4, hi-hat 2 and 4. Do them slow, orchestrate them. Do you know what I mean by orchestrating? We're going to be staying a long time in the Morello book. You have that book, Stacy? George Lawrence Stone's Memories? His articles he wrote? Okay, you guys are going to have a nice time Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. That's 5 days to sit down and practice your ass off. Yeah, that's a good, you have articles, all right. Now, from now till then, email me if you're not sure of anything, especially the triplets, Jimmy. I don't know what you did and what the hell you were thinking about. For mercy. That's okay. How old are you, Jimmy? I'm older than you, right? You still there? Wow. That's a good life, 98, Stacy. I'm living on a day-to-day basis here. Huh. Jimmy, do you know what I mean by the triplets? Why don't you do this? I don't really have time to do it. I think Stacy would be ideal for this. Stacy, can you send Jimmy the written text that you sent me with the triplets? Can you send it to him? Jimmy, you're not 50-something. Can you do that for me, Stacy? Hook up with Jimmy and send him what you sent me? Well, my grandfather was 102 years old the day he died. He was in the hospital, in a hospice or whatever, and he said to the nurse, "Give me a cigarette." Or he gave my father, "Give me a cigarette." The nurse says, "You can't smoke in here." And here's the guy in his deathbed. Lived all these years smoking at 102. You know what he said? You don't want to hear it. He smoked it, though. I'll send you Jimmy's email, okay? And Jimmy, if you have any questions with it, come on, don't waste no time. Send it to me. What's this? This is Jimmy's email. What's this? For a good time, call jckpools@yahoo.com. Okay. Hey, boom, da bunga, boom. All right. Time to leave. Any questions before I leave? Anything you want to go over? Anything, guys? Now I got all this time to practice. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. 5 days of practicing. So look out Wednesday. Okay. All right. You're welcome, Paul. You're welcome, Stacy. And you're welcome, other guys. Guys, have a good weekend. Be safe, be well. And most